It's for everyone. I brought some for everyone. Pop Culture Kids Podcast Crew. Tune in and let the topics move. Kathy and Kitty make it fun. Pop culture talk for everyone.
It's Saturday night
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture.
with Cassie and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Pop Culture Kids. We are live on a Sunday night. Hope everyone is well wherever you are in the world as we come to you live to talk all things pop culture. Kenny, we do this every week from the north and the south. Me from North Carolina, Kenny from South Jersey. Kenny, my brother, how are you this evening?
I am good. What's good? What's good? What's good? How's it going? How's it going?
It's going. It is going. It is going.
We missed last week, so it's been 2 weeks without you guys. So I hope
Yes.
everybody's doing well.
We
And
did.
I'm gonna start
And
off by
I
saying
apologize. That was my fault. I thought this gala thing I had to go to was Saturday night, and it turns out it was Sunday night, and it was a long
but
night.
it was good because you won your award. You
I
won your
did.
category.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, for best supporting actress in a non-musical, it was a tie. So I tied. So I got to share the award, but I still got to give a little quick acceptance speech. I didn't prepare a speech because I didn't think I was going to win. So and I was so tired. My award was right after intermission, and I seriously, had my award been before intermission, I probably would have left like during intermission because that was a pretty late night and kept me up past my bedtime. It's bad enough this show keeps me up past my bedtime because my bedtime's 9 o'clock, and by the time we finish up and we stop chatting, it's usually way past my bedtime.
Do you have a bedtime tonight? Because tomorrow is a holiday.
For who?
Well, it's Indigenous People Day.
Well,
I'm
we
off.
don't necessarily get that off. I do have to work. I have a teacher work day, so the kids don't have school. So thank you, Lisa. Yeah, it was pretty cool, and I probably should have brought the award. I could have showed it off, but
Yeah.
I'm not even that smart. I've been kind of like, what do you call it? Like I know in the spring you do spring cleaning, but I've been doing, I guess, fall cleaning because I was cleaning floors and cleaning my living room and stuff because I have to bring my plants inside before the first frost. And
Right.
I'm heading out of town, and I'm going to be at Creator Camp next week. And I want to make sure I bring in my plants because the first frost is not supposed to be till the 19th, but I come back on the 18th, and I noticed there's been a drop in temperatures at night, and I don't want to risk it.
Shout out to our cousin Lisa. Shout out to Scooby Life. Anybody else out there listening in, you want to let us know you're here so we can shout you out. That'd be great. And in the meantime, in between time, tonight, our main topic is going to be like a what if. So we got movies that didn't have sequels. And what if they did have sequels? And I kind of made up some scenarios for movies that didn't get sequels. And this is coming from the mind of Kenny Walker. So it might be kind of out there. Don't worry about it. It's
You
okay.
think?
You read what I did. But before we go to that, we have pop culture news.
Alrighty. I keep promising a sound effect, and one day I will get it together, and I'll get a cool sound effect for the pop
We're good.
culture
We're
news.
good. So we're going to start with Green Day. couple weeks ago, because we got 2 weeks worth of news just about. And we got some things. And notice I left off celebrity deaths because we always start with these celebrity deaths, and I'm
And it
tired
bums
of
me
it.
out.
So I left it off.
Who died?
I don't care.
That's not right.
I don't
Not
care.
right at all.
So let's start with Green Day. So Green Day, open mouth insert foot.
What they do? Oh, yeah. I read this
Radio
one.
stations pull music in Las Vegas at the lead singer Billy Joe Armstrong says he hates Vegas on stage at a show in Vegas.
Yeah.
So the DJs in Vegas said, you know what, Mother
We hate
Fletcher,
you.
we're going to pull your music and we're not going to play you. You hate Vegas? We hate you.
Maybe it's the concept of Vegas. And I don't know because I have actually never been to Vegas. I just
Well, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to Vegas on next month. And I'm bringing my computers, so hopefully we can do the show from Vegas.
Okay. Hey, live from
Yeah,
Vegas.
that'll be a cool thing. That'll be a cool
That'd be
thing.
cool.
So next, Lauryn Hill is being sued by Praz from the Fugees for fraud and breach of contract over the canceled tour. Now,
Lauryn Hill can't seem to get a break.
okay, now this is more on Praz and not Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Apparently, apparently
like, man.
he's okay. Praz has some legal troubles.
Okay.
He's about to get sentenced to jail up to 20 years. He can get sentenced to.
Oh, he got like
And
whoa. He's got like puffy type troubles. Why?
he got not puffy type. He isn't puffy type crap, but he's got like fraud things going on and different things. He's got legal problems. Look him up. Praz has got legal problems. He might get close to 20 years, something like that. So,
Wow, for fraud.
I don't know. I forget what he did, and it's not even important what he did. But bottom line is he's in trouble.
Okay. Lisa's saying
He had legal payments, legal bills, and Lauryn Hill for the concert fronted him money to do the show,
Okay.
so he can help pay his legal bills. Then she canceled the show for her own reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So he was looking forward to getting more money, but she canceled the show. So now he's crying sour grapes and he's suing her after she done already helped the brother out.
Dang, that's just not right.
So, you know, this one is not on. I know Lauren's famous for showing up late to shows, canceling shows, yada, yada, yada. It's Lauryn Hill. She put out the Miseducation Lauryn Hill and didn't put out any other albums after that. And people are waiting for that, and she's not
She
doing
hasn't
it.
had a second album yet.
No.
I mean, the first one was epic, but
Yeah, that was like, and the Miseducation Lauryn Hill was so epic. That's how epic it was. It was one of the things where, like, I'm gonna drop this album. Peace.
you know what it reminds me of? The woman who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, and evidently, again, this was a piece of literature that was so classic. She was never able to do like a sequel or a second novel. I think she wrote articles and did some other things, but it wasn't until almost like 2 or 3 years before her death that she wrote. I think it was called Set a Watchman. Was her second novel, and it didn't. It wasn't To Kill a Mockingbird. So of course, critics I think treated it harshly, but she went years, like we're talking 20, 30 years before she had a second release. And it's a shame because, like I said, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is just,
It's a classic.
it's a classic. It's a classic. I wish she would have released more music.
Yes. Well, maybe it's better she didn't because that's such a classic. And that's one of the things that makes that a classic too, kind of, sort of. So, Next on our news, Wendy's introduces the Krabby Patty from SpongeBob lore.
You know,
So
I saw a commercial for this,
yes, I
and
saw a commercial just a half hour ago.
yeah,
Um, the Krabby Patty collab burger with the top secret Krabby collab sauce and pineapple under the sea frosty.
ugh.
I'm
Now
not
you
a big
know what
Wendy's
I
fan
here,
from the door.
what
I'm not a big Wendy's fan from the door.
actually Wendy's isn't too bad. Now their baked potatoes, I I mean I love. Um, that was a go-to staple because it's one of those places you can do fast food and still do some diet food. Their salads aren't too bad,
No,
but their baked potatoes are really good.
baked potatoes are good.
I've
Baked potatoes, depending
I've,
on when you go, baked potatoes okay. I've had a bad baked potato from Wendy's before,
I've
but
had their burgers. They're not the best,
no,
but I know they're square anyway, so that makes sense. The only thing that uh, gives me pause is this Krabby collab sauce. Like,
yeah,
you know, crab is expensive. Even imitation crab is expensive. Just what exactly is in this sauce? What are they putting on it?
I
Is it
don't.
just
Yeah.
are they just putting tartar sauce on it? And
This
because
is like
that's
the actual SpongeBob cartoon. We don't really know what's in the sauce.
right. And even the idea of having pineapple on it doesn't freak me out. I used to think pineapple like on pizza was like, "Oh my god, why would you do that?" But have you ever had pineapple with pizza? Like a ham?
No,
I've had a
I,
ham and
I used to work in a pizza spot, and no, and I've made it, but I
mhm.
haven't had it, and it doesn't look like something I want.
It's actually pretty tasty. Like if you think about it, like when you have your Thanksgiving ham or Christmas ham, when you put those like pineapple slices and you know cherries and stuff, and that sweetness with the saltiness, kind of it works. And actually, in a pizza, the pineapple with ham, it's pretty tasty. I
Really?
turn yes, and I was
It's
one of
usually
those.
like
I
pizza,
would
and
turn up my nose at it, but
it's usually like pizza with no sauce, and that's the part that throws me off.
a what?
It's usually on a white pizza with no sauce,
No,
and that's the,
I've had it on a pizza with sauce,
really.
and oh yeah, it's delicious. Um, and again, I was in your camp. I was kind of like, yeah, bleh, I'm not doing that, but I was wrong, and I will admit that I will do a pineapple on a pizza, and that's it, Scooby Life. It's the sweet and the savory, and again, it's
What's
why
a
I love trail mix, like you know, salty
well?
almonds and peanuts and cashews with a little bit of raisins, and it's just that
Well, it's
sweet
the
and salty.
pineapple. It's the pineapple under the sea frosty. So the pineapple's not on the Krabby Patty.
Wait. Okay. So they don't put it on the patty.
No, it's a pineapple. So it's a pineapple frosty.
Oh, I wonder is that like the Dole Whip thing at
I don't
Disney?
know.
I've never had this.
I don't know what it's like, but I'm not having it.
Okay. Have you ever had the Dole Whip? I think
No.
I don't know if it's Disney World that does it too. I know it's. I think it's big in Disneyland, but I think it's like some kind of like pineapple frosty type situation. I don't know if you've had a Dole Whip. Somebody has to fill me in, but I'm pretty sure it's like a pineapple frosty thing, and maybe what that's what that's similar to.
Okay. Well, next on our news, we have Big Bang Theory possible spinoff on Max.
Another spinoff?
Another spinoff. This spinoff is a possible spinoff that they might try to green light, which is going to follow the comic book guy, his girlfriend, and the geologist, the rock guy, the big tall rock guy.
The rock guy.
The guy, there was a geologist friend that they had
Uh huh.
that was kind of like bland, and he signed up for it. Stewart, the comic book guy, signed up for it. The woman that played his girlfriend has signed up for this. So they might do a spinoff. It's a possibility. It's not possible. I'm just letting you know. Yet another Big Bang Theory spinoff.
The Big Bang.
And that's,
Well, hold on for a second. Can I get a word in? The
yeah,
Big Bang Theory is like a modern day All in the Family because or maybe even MASH because I think MASH
more.
is unique in that its spinoffs were not just comedies but they also had drama spin-offs like Trapper John, but or even All in the Family. But The Big Bang Theory has already had Young Sheldon, and then spinning off from Young Sheldon is supposed to be a new series about the brother and his wife and baby. So The Big Bang Theory is like our, like I say, new
Yeah,
MASH or new All in the Family.
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see how that works out. Next, we have Lisa Marie Presley's memoirs. Her daughter apparently finished the memoir that Lisa Marie started before she passed away.
I'm sorry. Was I
And
yawning?
I'm sorry.
I said, was I yawning? Like,
Yes.
do I
Yeah.
care? No, I'm sorry. That
No,
was
but
me.
anyway, apparently in these memoirs, she kept her son who passed away from suicide. She kept the son's body on dry ice for 2 months in the house before burying him, which was she didn't want to let go. And she claims that Michael Jackson was a virgin at 35 when they met, and the assault allegations were totally false.
But she's not alive, so who can say whether it's right or wrong? There's no way to contest it. It's kind of like her word against everybody else's.
Well, she wrote this thing down. She recorded these things before she died.
Okay.
Her daughter just went and got it all published.
And and I mean, she's saying that they're false, but how does she know? Was she there in the room?
What are you on a prosecution or something?
I'm just
What are you,
saying.
prosecution now? Are you prosecuting Mike now from the grave? What are you doing? What's going on here?
I'm just saying there's just some questionable things that
No questionable things. Mike is innocent, man. Come
all
on.
right. Okay.
Mike and OJ, let's go. Okay, so
Whoa. Okay. I'm not even gonna touch that. I'll leave that one sit there. Go ahead. Defend all
Otis
your black men.
Redding. Otis Redding got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His wife and daughter was present. They were in attendance, and they recently finally just gave Otis Redding a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I believe they're going to do a movie about his life, starring, oh man, his name. I had his name on the tip of my tongue, and just skipped me. But it's the guy that was in Star Wars.
In Star Wars. Oh, the new Star Wars. I wasn't
Yeah.
a big fan of the new Star Wars.
Yes. I'm a semi fan of the new Star Wars. I there's some things I like about it, and there's some
And
things I'm
some
looking at it like, really?
what was I gonna say? Here's the thing about the stars on the Walk of Fame, because on Facebook you can be a part of different groups. I'm a part of a couple groups that are composed of Tina Marie fans, and somebody was complaining that she didn't have a star on the Walk of Fame, and I can't find it because it was before the age of digital cameras. Like I actually physically took a picture with a camera, but I had a picture of her star. But the thing about the star, it's not like being inducted in like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because basically with the stars, your publicist just buys you that spot.
I don't think that was always the case though. I think when the stars first started, it was like a Hollywood, it was like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame type thing. You got nominated for the star. So I don't think I'm gonna research the history of the Hollywood Star Walk of Fame. I'm gonna research the history of that and get back to you next week on that, because I don't
Okay,
think that was.
because I thought I don't know. It's just maybe it's lately. It just smells like a publicity thing. So if you have enough money, you can buy your spot. And granted, I'm sure they're not cheap, but I don't know
Yeah,
how much it is.
they're not cheap.
Like, is it really
And
an honor if you're just
but Otis Redding definitely deserves a star.
I wonder why it's taken so long to make a biop about Otis Redding. And you know who else I would love to hear a biography about? Jackie
Who?
Wilson.
You know what? I would love a biop about Sam Cooke.
That would be good too.
And I would also love a biop about Fats Waller.
Oh, Fats Waller. Well, I
I
think
think it's probably up. Huh?
hasn't Fats Waller his biography been included in like in the intersection of other people's biops?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I
Now
don't.
here's the thing with Otis Redding. I actually had this whole like screenplay I wrote in my head. I never really physically wrote it down. It wasn't really about Otis Redding, but it was a story about a girl who, like a coming of age story about this girl who lived in New Jersey near where he was staying because after his stroke, I guess he was in a nursing home.
Who, Otis Redding?
No, no, I'm sorry,
Jackie
Jackie
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Jackie Wilson. So, and I had this whole, and in fact, the title of the movie was going to be called Jackie Wilson Said after that uh, Van Morrison song, and almost playing that song in the opening credits. And basically, it was the story of this young girl who, even though the movie takes place like in the late 70s or 80s, whenever it was he had a stroke, that she had discovered his music from like the 50s and 60s and was like obsessed with Jackie Wilson. And because her mom worked at this nursing home, she found that that's where he was, and she would go there and like talk to him. But again, he was in this coma. It was this whole. I had this whole movie playing out in my head.
You should write it. You should write it anyway.
Is
Um, John,
that just disturbing? I don't know.
no, no, not really. John Boyega is the actor.
Oh, okay, right. From
Boyega.
I forgot which Star Wars movie, but I can see his face just
Yeah.
as clear as day. I know who you're talking about. Hmm.
He's a good actor too because he was in they cloned Tyrone, and it took me a minute into the movie to realize that that's who that was.
And I know you recommended that movie, and I certainly tried to watch it. And I did, but I just couldn't.
I love the movie. I think it was great. I think it was great.
It wasn't working for me. They
It
cloned
was-
Tyrone,
Um,
and
and last but not least, on our news item, did Hillary Duff racially profile a photographer? So here's the story. Hillary Duff was at a soccer game of some sort with her kids, and a guy was shooting photography, and it was in the park. It was in the public place. It was in the park. He didn't have a lot of paparazzi around him, nothing like that. He was just shooting action shots of the kids playing. And she walked over to him and said, "You can't do this." And the gentleman, who happened to be a black man, said, "I'm just a photographer taking shots." He wasn't shooting necessarily her kids. He was just taking action shots. And he offered to identify himself. He offered to give his identification. Like, he offered all that kind of stuff. So he wasn't being shady at all. He's like, "Look, I'm a budding photographer. I just need to take action shots. I'm in a public place, yada, yada, yada." And Hillary Duff called the police. So did Hillary Duff have a Karen moment?
well, I'm sure we've all had our Karen moments. She was getting her Karen on.
So that was just a story I saw today with Hillary Duff, and I'm a little bit disappointed if it is what I think it is. So it is what it is. So that being
Sometimes
said,
it is what it is.
yeah, that being said, we're going to move on
But
to our
you gotta
topic.
figure though, Kenny, people who are in the public eye like that, and when when people are taking pictures of them so much, like they get used to it. But then when it comes to their kids, they want to have like a layer of protection for their kids. So I kind of get that part of it.
I get that. I totally get that. And I saw a clip today of Paris Jackson walking through the airport, and her running from photographers, just shooting her. And I remember, and the caption said, "Michael, if he was alive, his heart would be broken, because if you remember, when his kids were first born, he put masks on them
Mm-hmm.
when they were in public. He covered their faces in public.
Right.
So, and I get the whole protecting your kid thing, but the guy didn't see, it wasn't like he was around a lot of paparazzi, and the guy didn't seem to care that it was Hillary Duff. He probably didn't even realize it was Hillary Duff,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest
But
with you.
again, were his kids playing? Like, why is he?
No,
Or was,
no. He was just a photographer in a public place taking pictures. And it's
okay.
legal. It's legal.
Okay. Of other people's children? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
It's legal. You're in a public place. They're in a public place. You can snap pictures anywhere.
All right. If you say so.
That's the thing about the First Amendment. It's legal.
All right. Why don't you talk about? You talked a little bit about it, but why don't you go ahead and talk about our topic tonight?
Okay, so our topic tonight is the What If sequel. And we picked some movies, some very popular movies that did not have sequels. And what we did was we created the sequel. And what would the sequel look like? And what would be entertaining? And that's pretty much what it is. And we didn't pick every movie. So if you have a sequel idea for a movie, please step in, let us know. Scooby Life, I think the kids were probably 12, 13, 10. They look like, I don't know,
Like
kids playing,
preteens, teens.
preteens playing soccer.
She was in
So
her soccer mom mode.
yeah, she was in soccer mom mode. So our first movie we're going to go is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986 movie. Matthew Broderick, Alan Ruck. So this is a classic movie. And incidentally, this kind of leads into, and we're going to go to another movie, a John Hughes movie also. Yeah, it is kind of creepy, Scooby Life, but it's legal.
I'm with Scooby Life on that one.
As a father of especially my three girls, I was very protective of my girls when they were that age. So I was very even when my ex-wife started dating a new guy and they were getting serious and everything, I said, look, no jealousy or nothing here, but if he's going to be around my girls, I need to meet him because, things happen all the time. So, and it is creepy, but it's legal. So, anyway, so Ferris Bueller Day Off, we know how that went. He talked his friend into taking the day off with him.
I agree, Scooby Life, but that's just me.
Yeah, I agree too, to an extent, but So,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And again, I think we picked all the movies. I think we picked never really had sequels, but we don't know whether there were maybe sequels that were planned that never came to fruition, because sometimes they might have the idea, but the stars don't agree, or the director doesn't line up, or financing doesn't go through. So all kinds of things happen. So. But Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But and you know what? In some movies, I think like Thelma and Louise. If you're gonna have a sequel, it's gonna be two other people. Maybe it's Baby Driver.
yeah.
I don't know. But it's not gonna be,
Some movies you can't
Gina
sequel
Davis
like
and
Set It Off.
mhm.
Set It Off. You can't sequel
Oh
Set It
yeah,
Off.
no
Butch
sequel to
Cassidy
Set
and
It
the
Off.
Sundance Kid. You couldn't sequel Butch Cassidy and the Sundance. They did a prequel, but you can't do a sequel.
Ah,
So,
oh, a prequel.
um,
Oh, yeah. But anyway, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. How would you imagine a sequel?
so Ferris is older and working a dead-end job, and talks Cameron, who is wealthy philanthropist, into not following rules and doing what they want to do for a day. His wife Sloane eventually comes with them. His sister Janine is married to a biker bad boy. Ferris called out, and his young boss, who is the deceased Principal Rooney's son, is out to get him fired for lying about being sick and calling out of work.
Uh,
So now
that's actually. Wait, did
Rooney's
you come
son,
up with that?
Rooney's son is his boss. So it happens, and Rooney's son heard, growing up, heard about Ferris giving his dad a hard time, and Rooney's son is out to get Ferris that his dad couldn't do.
Oh,
So Ferris and Cameron and Sloan are taking another day off. Janine, I'm imagining Sloan and Ferris have kids. Janine is stuck watching the kids.
oh, his sister.
His sister's stuck watching the kids, and she's kind of pissed about that.
I actually like that, but
You need a reason for Janine to be pissed at Ferris.
oh, always. But I
So
think
Janine is kind of pissed because she's stuck watching the kids because Ferris and Sloan are out doing God knows what, and now they're having more adult fun because now they're adults, and Cameron's going along, and because his dad was rich, so we had the idea that he was a rich kid, so he didn't have all his money, so now he's like a philanthropist. So he's doing all his busy like office work and stuff. He's doing all his busy like philanthropy, rich guy stuff and meetings and things like that. And Ferris talks him into taking off, and maybe he had to do something like dedicate a hospital or something. And Ferris talked him out into like not doing it. And they spend the whole day avoiding his boss.
and as Scooby Life makes a good point. I think the sequel would have ruined the good memories because
Yeah,
again,
true.
there's
True.
such a vibe to, I guess, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It just captures like such a point in time
Yeah,
of those like John Hughes style movies. And I think you have another John Hughes movie
I do.
in the mix as
Well,
well with some of the ones that you took a look
I
at.
think Ken did the thing that could surpass the original, kind of like Grease too.
But God, not doing it. But I don't know this one with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It seems like you've thought about this.
I did. I thought about this.
I think this movie is like this movie is actually played in your mind on a couple days.
Yes. It's a lot of things you think about when you have free times and liquor and drugs. So anyway, moving on. No, I'm just joking. You don't have liquor and drugs. So our next one is Casablanca. I went with a classic. Casablanca. Because Casablanca kind of ends with them walking out into the mist, because they know they can't stay where they are. So Renault and Humphrey Bogart Rick walk out into the mist because So this follows. So the part 2 will follow the adventures of Rick and Renault running for the Nazis, and Sam joins them later to help them out. And that's just the whole plot. Hey, Big Rick, what's going on, brother?
But now it's like a buddy film, and Casablanca was like a classic love story. You're totally changing the essence of the movie or the essence of the franchise. It's Casablanca. You got to keep that love story. That's this, lovers who meet and yet they're never going to be together, kind of thing.
Rick and Renault run around trying to get away from the Nazis, and then they fall in love.
That's too far-fetched.
And then Stan comes and says,
you know what?
"Boss."
Casablanca is a classic. You don't want to mess with that. I don't think that needs a sequel. I'm sorry. And that idea doesn't work for me.
I tried. And Lisa, you couldn't use Mr. Rooney because the actor who played Mr. Rooney is kind of banned and blacklisted for his pornographic pictures of children.
But he's not in jail.
He's not in jail, but he ain't acting. That's why
I thought he passed away. Didn't he die?
No, he's alive. He's alive. He probably broke. He's alive though. He's broke with a lot of porn. So
that's just bad. All right. If you're just joining us, it's Pop Culture Kids on a Sunday night. We thank you for tuning in, for hanging out with us. You can catch us every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. You can also find us on our website, kathyandkitty.com. Sign up for the website so that you can get all the latest on all the things we're doing, your pop culture t-shirts and everything like that. If you can hear Kenny coughing in the background. And then you can also hear us Tuesday nights on Who's Got Next Radio. Again, for those of you joining us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We just got an announcement. We got 16,000 views. So for us, hey, we're happy with that and excited for you guys to hang out with us on a Sunday night. So please consider hitting that like button and subscribing. All right. I'm sorry. I just crowbarred the little plugs in there because I always forget.
Okay.
We go on, we start talking, and I forget.
So the next movie we have is The Goonies.
Ah,
1985 Goonies.
which you just saw like this decade. I can't believe you.
Why we gotta pull that out? Why we gotta? What like? What's the point
Well,
in
okay.
pulling that out?
Hold on, before we move on into the podcast listeners and radio listeners, Scooby Life's comment says none of the movies with sequels are classics. I have to disagree because The Godfather and The Godfather 2 are definitely classics. I think Alien and Aliens are classics. So
Star Wars: A New Hope, classic.
I think The Matrix and maybe the second movie. I don't know.
No,
I think by the
just the
third,
first
it kind of, huh?
Just the first one.
Yeah, you're right. The other two like sucked. Wasn't there a fourth one?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that because the
Yeah,
third one had
it
lost
didn't
me.
miss
But
anything.
you're
It
right.
didn't miss-
You're right. Okay. All right. We'll
Man,
take that
the
one.
first
But
Superman-
Godfather and Godfather 2 definitely are classics. 3 not so
Yeah.
much. Godfather 3, yeah, they could have left that one behind.
Lucky.
But I think that's like the classic example of a good sequel. It was two like such distinct movies.
The first Superman with Christopher Reeve. That's a classic.
But I don't think the subsequent movies could be considered classics.
No,
I mean,
not
even-
really.
yeah.
Superman 2 was good. Kneel before Zod. That was good.
You're right. That was
Good, but it wasn't a classic. But you know, in Godfather, I always think, hey, Mike, remember when a time when you were young and Abe Vigoda trying to play people was like, hey, Mike, remember back in the day when
I come to you on the day of your daughter's wedding. Okay, all right. So we'll go down that rabbit hole. The next movie, Star Wars. That's true. And again, I don't know. Like, I guess the first Star Wars is called The New Hope.
yeah.
But I think the first 3 from
Oh,
The Empire
sure.
Strikes Back were all classics.
Oh,
Now, the reboots, the next 3.
The prequels and the sequels, they were.
Star
Kathy, your
Trek.
sound.
Star Trek:
Yeah.
The Next Generation. Something funky happened to my sound.
Yeah. No, I think I'll be honest with you though. The best Star Trek movie ever, in my opinion, is oh man.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I'm reading the comment from Big Rick. Kenny is Fredo. I'm sorry. That's.
Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing?
I'm sorry. Not tonight. I'm sorry. That's
Okay.
bad. But no, Star Trek. Their pattern isn't necessarily sequels. It's the odd number films that are evidently the good ones. But I digress.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
so we got the Goonies. That's the next sequel movie we're doing.
Okay.
So in this sequel I came up with, the kids are all grown up and live in the same town where their kids all play together. Chunk runs the tourist site around the Inferno. And the kids, their kids, now the new kids, find another map on a ship that puts them on their own adventure.
They were losing their houses or having to like their parents were going to have to sell their homes. So what's the
No.
catalyst?
Well, here's the thing. They were when the Inferno came to land,
Mm-hmm.
it was a tourist attraction. So that tourist attraction was able to save the city so they didn't have to sell. So they ran a tourist attraction, and now everybody's happy and they live in the same city and they all stay in the same town, and this is like a big tourist trap thing. And Trump is running everything, and now he's skinny and everything. He's got kids and all that, and then their kids find another map inside that ship that nobody else found, and they go on another adventure. So it's like a fun kid movie of these kids on an adventure.
All right. I could see Goonies too. But and you know what? Speaking of like again movies, especially those coming of age movies. Now I remember The Sandlot. Now, have you seen The Sandlot?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cuz I was about to say, "Oh my god, you're killing me, Smalls," if you hadn't. But
Why are you trying to
anyway,
throw me out? You know I seen the Sandlot.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But I think there was a Sandlot too, but again, it didn't do as well. The
No.
Sandlot is one of those classics, but okay.
Um,
Hey, you know what? Do we have to put out a disclaimer? What if somebody steals these ideas and makes movies that make millions?
I don't care.
Okay. Although I think for some of these actors, like for a Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like now those folks would be retired. So Ferris probably wouldn't even be working now; he'd be retired. But that would have been a viable movie to make, like maybe 10 to 15 years ago.
No. He would be okay. Retirement age is kind of back to 66, close to 70. So he'd be working a dead end job that he hated. That and his kids would be half grown and this that.
But
And
he
the other,
would he would be in his 70s by now.
no, he wouldn't. He's our age.
No, he's older.
No, he's not.
Dude, he's older.
He's our
Oh,
age.
Rick, Big Rick, that's a good one. Trading Places too.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything for that one, and
Ah,
I
Rick, you
considered
got to
it.
tell us what that plot would be. What
Yeah,
would
Rick.
happen in
That
Trading
plot.
Places too? Looking good,
Um,
Reginald. No,
my next one is
okay.
E.T.
E.T.
1982. And I
Phone
make it
home.
pretty easy. E.T. comes back to visit Elliot after 40 years, and he finds Drew Barrymore because Drew Barrymore is very popular right now. She's got her own show. She's still acting. And instead, he finds Drew Barrymore, and he befriends her kids.
Well, wait, does Drew Barrymore know he's back?
No, not at first.
Okay.
And then this kid comes because Drew Barrymore's in the same house. Let's just kill the mother off. She's dead.
Okay.
Or either dead or in an insane asylum because she wasn't too wrapped too tight anyway in the movie. And Elliot and his brother, they're all like they moved away and this, that, and the other. E.T. comes back, looks for Elliot, doesn't find him, finds these kids, and the kid kind of looks a little bit like Elliot, so he thinks it is Elliot, and then he finds out it's Drew Barrymore's, kids, and it's one of those feel good movies and this, that, and the other.
So pretty much the same plot as the original movie.
Yeah.
Although I think it would be interesting if the if Drew Barrymore doesn't uh like know that it's ET that's come back and that the kids are kind of trying to hide it from her.
Yeah, they do. Eventually, they try to hide it from her, but eventually she finds out.
Hmm.
But there's
And
such
by the way, for the folks who are in the chat who are joining us live as we record this podcast slash radio show, or if you're watching on the replay, the folks in the chat, Big Rick suggested a Trading Places 2 sequel. So what would that plot be like? So, oh wait,
you put it in
Rick
there.
Rick Rick is offering up his plot line. It says Eddie
Owners
and
of a
Dan would be the owners of a hedge fund that would go belly up during the housing bubble. Oh wow. So that movie would have to be set in like what was that, the 90s? Like the late 90s that the
no,
housing
no, no,
bubble.
no, no, no. You can have them. Yeah, you can have them like during the pandemic. That's when they lose money or something like that, or they. I don't know. That would be interesting because they're both still acting, and to have them in something like that, that would be kind of cool. But since it's set in Philadelphia and they're building so much in Northern Liberties, you can have it to do something with like the gentrification.
And oh, you know what? Because they did coming to, was it Coming to America?
Yeah.
I thought I didn't like. It was okay, and they tried to wedge a lot of good things in there. But to me, Coming to America was such a classic. It was hard. I mean, it was okay. It
I
had its
think I,
moments.
I think that the sequel is kind of just like a. It wasn't really. It was meant to be like a nostalgic feel good movie.
Yeah, that's true.
I did like the scene where they did the Prince song. That was pretty cool.
Of course.
Next we have the Breakfast Club.
Hmm.
1985 Breakfast Club. Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy, Judd Nelson, Anthony Michael Hall. And my thing is that they meet up at the 20-year reunion, or probably the 40-year reunion.
You
at this
forgot
point.
Emilio Estevez.
And
I mean,
Emilio
there's only
Estevez.
5 of them in there. But.
Yes. And the nerd is rich and successful and confident. Bender is a family man and hardworking with his own business. The jock and the misfit are married but have issues, and Claire is a washed up drunk.
Uh, you thought, again, this is one of those scenarios. It's like you spent some time thinking about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this was supposed to be our topic last week, and then when we decided, and you were asking me what the topic for this week is, and I'm like, oh, let's go with last week's topic. But from the level of detail you've come up with some of these plots and you've thought
I
about
didn't
this.
even think about it. And here's the thing: they would make a pact to meet at the reunion
Hmm.
the day after the morning. The reunion would take place on Saturday night. They would meet in the detention on Saturday morning, like they did 40 years ago. And they promised they would all meet, and they did all meet, and they sit around and talk, and this is what we came up with. That Claire's just like unhappy. She's like divorced. She's like a drunk. She's like but she's trying to hide the fact that she's a drunk.
The
And I
anti-Karen.
think Molly Ringwald can pull that off. And Amelia Escobar and Ali Sheedy are married, but they're having problems because Ali Sheedy's not wrapped too tight, and the jock has got too much ego. Bender is actually a family man. He's hardworking, owns his own business, and Bender actually turns out not to be a criminal, but to be a respected person in the community.
So you're playing against all the different types, because
Yes.
well, you're playing into the stereotype that the nerd becomes a rich, successful,
Yeah, I'm
confident
playing. I'm
businessman.
going with
You're playing
because I
into
want
that
to give them
stereotype.
He's a kid who wanted to kill himself when he got a B or C on a grade. So I'm playing it that this kid wants to, he becomes rich and successful, and he has more confidence.
Okay. Well,
Matter of
Tracy.
fact, he was the one that gave Bender the money to start his business.
Okay. Well,
So
again, I like that. I like the fact that Bender, the character who everybody thinks is going to be headed for the skids, is the most successful in your scenario of what a Breakfast Club 2 sequel would look like. Someone suggested, Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for joining us. 16 Candles 2. Now, what would that plot be like? And again, tonight's show, we're doing like dream sequels. Like if we take some of our classic favorite movies and they had a sequel, what would it be? What are the possible
16
storylines?
16 Candles sequel would be Molly Ringwald's character old enough and her having a daughter that's turning 16.
Of course.
That's what it would be. It's 16 Candles too. Her having a daughter turning
So
16.
basically, the same. Is it a daughter that gets ignored and doesn't, and everybody kind of forgets her birthday in the wake of something else
No,
going
no, no,
on?
no, no. It'd be totally different because her daughter would be popular. Her daughter wouldn't be such a
Oh,
nerd.
okay.
Her daughter would be popular, and she would get everything that Molly Ringwald didn't get.
Mm.
So she would get the guy she likes, and she would get everything, but she would have to get everything to finally lose everything to realize the value of everything she's getting.
Okay. All right. Cause I was looking for your story arc, but I see where you're going with that one. And you know
Yeah,
what
she
other
was.
movie I was thinking about? That again, I had such a good feeling watching the movie that I wouldn't mind seeing where these characters wind up. Although, again, it's such a moment in time with especially some of those teenage coming of age movies. But Clueless was always a movie I kind of loved, and for that time and the way it kind of
Clueless.
huh
Clueless. I thought it was like Clueless.
not
Uh,
Clue, Clueless, and what again, how that kind of pokes fun of the language and the styles and everything of that particular era. Like, to me, like the Clueless 2. I know they tried to make a TV show out of it. I don't know whether it was very
well,
successful,
there's
but
a fan myth, one of those fan myth things on it. Actually,
mhm.
Legally Blonde was a sequel to Clueless.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, it's
interesting.
kind of weighs in, kind of like the same kind of idea.
Oh, wow. I wonder, huh? I need okay, I need to check out my interwebs, and that is
Yeah,
interesting. I get it. I get it. All right. All right. If you're just joining us, we are talking about dream sequels. What if some of the most popular movies were made into a sequel, if they got their sequel. Now, a lot of times they'll make a sequel because the movie will make some money and they will milk it. Hashtag see Porky's, Porky's 2, Porky's 3, Porky's again, Porky's comes
no,
back.
Porky's only one though. The one that has sequels that milks it is American
Halloween
Pie.
20.
American Pie.
Oh, American Pie, yeah.
They
Oh,
milk their sequels. Yeah.
yeah.
So next we have Hitch.
School Days too. What would that? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I could go off on another little days.
School
Oh,
Days 2.
yeah. Wow. We might have to do
We
another one of these.
kind of got that with um A Different World.
Oh, okay. A Different World, basically. The TV show was the sequel to
Yeah.
School Days. Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, but your next movie is a movie I love. This is one of those movies where it seems like every other weekend it is on like
Yes.
either TBS or TNT. And even though you've seen it a million times, you will stop and watch. I know you. I see you. Don't try to tell me you won't. You'll stop and you'll watch it every single time. And that is Hitch. I'm sorry, I'm playing with the angles. Oh, I didn't realize you were.
No, that's okay. Okay.
I should have kept
So
my angle because Kenny is taking a sip of Gatorade.
yeah. So Hitch, I love Hitch. I love the movie Hitch
I love
because
Hitch.
the
And you know what's
character.
funny? Today I was in the car. I had to run some errands, go to the pharmacy, pick up my meds, and I heard the Heavy D song. Now that we found love, and I'm sorry, every time I hear that song, all I can think about is like the Soul Train dance at the wedding, and them
Yeah.
dancing
Yeah.
and him split.
You know, that's actually a show. Songs you hear that are not on, but are relate. Like you hear a song and you automatically think of a movie or a scene in the movie or something like that, and that's actually a show.
Oh,
But
Rick, you're
Hitch,
coming with some good ones.
yeah, Rick,
When Harry met Sally, what that
Met
sequel would
Sally.
be like.
I would
Oh
have to think
wow.
about that. I would have to think about that.
Yeah.
But Hitch, I love the
Hitch.
movie Hitch because the character's so smooth. Kind of reminds me of me. And
Really?
yeah,
Are you really going there?
I'm going there.
Really?
I'm going there. Yeah. So yes, Tracy. Friday did. What is that for? Yes, Tracy. Friday did milk it. Friday did milk it.
Oh yeah,
But
Friday.
and on sequel to
Next
Hitch,
Friday. Friday after next.
yeah, and on sequel to Hitch, Hitch sets up a legitimate dating business, and the woman who dumped him years ago that made Hitch Hitch tries to come back and forms a web between him and Eva Mendes.
Hmm.
And the whole show is about Hitch marrying Eva Mendes, but this woman coming back into his life and seeing that now he has this, and trying to get back with him, and him like, look,
Is Kevin James still with Allegra Cole?
yes,
You
Kevin
know how
James.
bad it is? I remember Allegra Cole, but I don't remember his character's name.
Yeah, Albert.
Albert and Allegra. You're right.
Allegra. So Albert Allegra, and Albert is giving Hitch advice on being married and being faithful and this, that, and the other. Like, yo, man, ignore this woman. You love, Sarah Mila. You love Sarah. Ignore this woman, and and then Allegra and Sarah are friends now. So so that's all. That all fits in.
I wouldn't mind a
And
Hitch sequel. Actually,
yeah,
I just that's one of those movies. Like even when it ended, those are characters I really would care about and want to see
yeah.
like what happened next with them. I agree.
So our final one is 1990's Pretty Woman.
Ah, that is a classic.
And I see you got Driving Miss Daisy too, but I think
That
a
bitch
two,
gotta take a cab. No,
no, yeah,
she'll be in
two
an
people,
Uber.
both old people are dead. That would be two. I know Morgan Freeman's still alive, but for the sake of this movie, both old people are dead. It's Who Got the Car would be two.
There's like, wait, that's dude. Where's your car?
Yeah, yeah. Who got the car? Who gets the
uh,
car?
you don't need no Drive Miss Daisy, a sequel, because by then there's Lyft, you know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I've never seen Driving Miss Daisy.
it's actually some good acting and good character study, but it's not. I don't know whether it moved me enough to kind of like stay in my memory. There are movies that move me to the point where, oh wow, I remember those characters. You know what? And I know you probably didn't see it, but there's a great movie called Hope Floats. And I just love those characters. I know we just lost Gina Rollins, but she is just phenomenal. But okay, go ahead, move on. What's the last movie on our list as we wrap it
Last
up?
movie on this is Pretty Woman. 1990's Pretty Woman, Richard Gere, Julia Roberts.
Pretty woman.
And in this one,
What's your scenario?
he loses all his money. And she has to teach him how to live poor. They eventually get all their money back. Huh?
That's the plot.
That's the plot. He loses his money and he doesn't know how to be poor because he's been rich his whole life. And she knows how to be poor. And she has to, it's kind of like a shit creek type thing.
And that was a little thin. I'm sorry. And I don't know whether I
Okay,
care enough about. I don't know whether I care enough about those characters to really want to know what happens to them.
I got
afterwards.
to I got to
I'm more vested in the love story of Hitch, or even the kids from the Breakfast Club. I wouldn't mind seeing what happens to them, But
I got a better one. I got a better one for Pretty Woman. I got a better
okay,
one. It's my
all
ultimate
right,
one. Here it is.
all right.
They
Give me
lose all
better.
their money, and in order for them to get money again, she has to pimp him out to younger women who like older men.
Oh man, you know what? That's
He
when you
pimps
know it's
him out
getting late.
to older women. Now he's now selling his body to
Okay.
younger women who like older men, and so there's a lot of Blue Chew and Viagra involved in
Oh
this
God.
because he's older.
You know what? Uh, and again, again, I guess, and maybe it's a male thing, but like I like to watch comic because they show old X-Files shows. But even when I'm watching like the news or whatever, anything past 9 o'clock, I'm seeing like every other commercials for this Blue Chew stuff, and I'm
Yeah,
like, what the heck? Oh
yeah.
my goodness. But yet, women can get men can get these, their boner pills, but women can't even get abortions. But anyway, I digress. I'm not going to get political. But oh wait, an officer and a gentleman too. Hmm.
That would be the officer now in charge, and he's in the Lou Gossett role, and
Oh
he
wow.
and
That would be
he
good.
he brings up another because he wanted to stay and he wanted to become a good officer, so he becomes a sergeant. So he's got to train another young buck in the service to be,
Well, that
and
was
then some
kind.
redheaded kid.
That was kind of like the thing with Maverick too, like with
Yeah,
Top Gun 2, Maverick, because
yeah.
he was the young cocky one, but now Goose's
You
son.
know who'd be good for him to train? Who would join the army? Because when he joined the service
Hmm.
and an officer and a gentleman, he wasn't young. He was a little older, and his dad, he was fooling around with his dad. They were sleeping with the same woman and everything else. They were partying hard, which is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
So, um, it would be a good actor to put in this place. How about you have what's his name, Richard Gere,
Hmm.
and he's training Michael B. Jordan.
Hmm.
There you go.
All right, officer
That's
and
the
gentleman
movie.
too.
He's training Michael B. Jordan, so you kind of reverse the roles around, and then
I'm there for it. I love me some Michael B. Jordan.
so he's training. So Michael, because you gotta get somebody who's worked out, because you want to see him work out and everything like that. You gotta get somebody who's in shape and everything. So you can get any actor to do it, but you want to get a name on it.
Yeah, and somebody's not too bad to look at. And bless you, Michael.
I don't. Michael B. Jordan is average. Look, Michael B. Jordan is one of those
Oh
guys. If you saw
heck
him walking on
no!
the street, if you saw him walking on the street, if women saw him walking on the street, they would not give a second look. If he was some
He would
brother,
get a second look.
if he was some brother with his pants hanging down, walking up trying to holler at a
Hey,
woman,
Michael B.
like,
Jordan would be walking around with his pants hanging
you would have
down.
their money. You women wouldn't give Michael B. Jordan a second look. Please.
I, I'm not even going to entertain that, but
That's
okay,
the money that's-
whatever.
Some of these guys
Silly.
get second looks because of celebrity and money. Come on. That's the facts.
Well,
That's facts.
what about the guy? I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, there was like a mugshot that went viral with the guy with the little teardrop by his eyes, with the greenish looking eyes, light skinned,
Yeah,
good looking guy.
yeah, he was a criminal, and all the women went crazy over him. I
Right.
can understand that. He was a nice looking guy. I bet you he had a
Exactly.
good time in prison because damn. But still, that's a lot of these celebrities that the women go crazy over. They were average guys walking. Denzel Washington, average guy emptying your trash, would not give him the time of day. Come on, y'all. Let's
He
be for
probably
real.
would get people to look at him, give him the
Let's be
time
for
of
real.
day. Although if he was delivering your trash and he walked in that like white outfit that he has, oh God, what was that movie? God, I can't even remember. Down in the Caribbean. But anyway, if he walked in like that, oh yeah. Michael was walking around, Steve Harvey would be threatening him. I don't know that
Yeah,
reference, but
Michael B. Jordan because he dumped Steve Harvey's daughter.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
yikes.
they dumped Steve Harvey's daughter. I think he did dump her. I think they broke up.
Oh, see, that's pop culture news I ain't even know about. Well, that's good to know. All right, so there you have it. Some very famous and popular movies that Kenny has reimagined what a sequel would be like. So if you're watching this on the replay, if you disagree, put your movie plot in the comments. Or if you come up with a sequel to either 16 Candles, School Days 2, what was the other movie? Because Big Rick had a couple of them that he had mentioned. Uh,
Harry Met Sally.
when Harry Met Sally. And yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments because I have a feeling we might do another one of these shows
Yeah.
because this
Yeah.
was fun. Because now you got me wanting to write a movie or at least rewrite a movie. What would be part two? I gotta think of
Let's,
some of.
let's, let's, let's do a certain fantasy movie, like sci-fi fantasy movies, if they have part twos. That'll be good.
All right. Well, a lot of them do because if
Yeah,
they are
true.
successful, like Avatar, like I tried to watch Avatar 2 and I wasn't
I've never
crazy
seen
about it.
Avatar. Never wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Avatar for me was like Titanic. It was one of those movies that had such hype. I did not want. Although I guess we can't make a Titanic 2. That wouldn't work. But anyway,
No, that'd be
um,
boring.
but Avatar, it had got such hype that I was avoiding it, just like I avoided Titanic. I finally gave in and I did watch Titanic.
I seen the end of Titanic, and it's kind of
Because
pissing me off.
back in the day when I had cable and when it was on like HBO on cable,
I'm-
they would show it ad nauseum, so you eventually did watch it. But Avatar was like that, so I eventually saw Avatar. I watched Avatar 2, and I wasn't as crazy about it. It didn't work for me. Didn't work.
Thank
for
you,
me.
Tracy. I'm glad you have fun.
Tracy.
Next
Thank you
week,
for hanging out with us.
next week we're going to be talking about. I had a conversation with my son, and we were arguing back and forth,
Uh-oh.
and we're going to go over the best John Hughes directed movies. He was involved with a lot of movies, but we're going to go to the ones that he directed, and he actually had experience. So we're going to talk about Weird Science, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller, and Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, and we're going to rank those and which one's the best and which one is not the best.
Well, wait. Is it because I know you always do the list? So you ranking them?
I'm ranking them.
Hey, I don't know if they're going to be available, but can I invite my friends from the VHS club? Because every Thursday night or most Thursdays they review like VHS movies, old movies like
You
Trains,
can,
Planes, and Automobiles.
you can invite whoever you want to the party. It's a family fun party. I would love to meet your friends. You can invite whoever you want to.
Well, they're
But
going to
once
be at Creator Camp, so I'll ask them if they're
once
available.
they disagree with what I have to say, you got to cut them off.
Well, no, I can't do that because I'm scheduled to be on their show. I don't even know when my date is, but I'm supposed to be on their show to talk about one of our favorite movies, and that is, um, God, I forgot. Better Off Dead. I forgot the title of the movie.
Oh yeah. Well, next week, are you going to be? Are you going to be able to do it next week? You're going to be in
Yeah,
San
I am leaving out Tuesday. I'll be back Saturday, so
Okay.
God willing, I should be here
Oh,
next
I didn't know
Sunday
that
night.
was okay. So, so next Sunday night we're going to go over to John Hughes movies. We're going to have some fun with those, and my son and I had a big dispute about what was the best one. So I'm gonna let him know we're doing this on next Sunday. Maybe he'll listen in on this and weigh in on it. But yeah.
All right.
And what you think is the best John Hughes movie in my mind is not what you think it is.
All right. Well, you know what? On our community page on the YouTube channel, we'll stick a poll and see which people vote for. We'll put like maybe the top 5 and see which one comes up as the best. We'll throw that on some of our social media and see what gets
See
fight.
who you guys think is best, but you got to agree with me.
That's not much. All right. We will see you next week.
Remember, my favorite Grease movie is Grease 2. There should be a Grease 3.
No, thank you. As always, imparting, we wish you love, peace, and pop culture. Take care,
God bless you.
guys.
We'll keep living peace. See you next week.
Kathy and Kitty in a say, pop culture running every way. Music, TV, movies.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.